Man, this young lady is nothing short of amazing. We've had her on before. She's a real live captain, not pretending. She's more than a captain, so I'm gonna let her get into her backstory. Give it up for none other than Captain QT in the building. Yeah. We're gonna get all up in your business. First of all, thanks for being a part of Spotlight Over the City.
Thank you for having me.
You are looking like a real live captain.
No question.
I mean, all the way. Stripes. Got to get them stripes.
Yeah, stripes.
The stripes.
Earn those.
Earn those stripes. And that hat is nothing short
I like that hat. That hat
crazy,
is
man.
lit.
It's fire, right? Super lit.
I like my hat.
Love that hat.
Your hat looks like that on a regular basis when you out there on the water and everything?
I wear it from time to time.
Okay.
That's when you're stunting on them. Like when you're trying to flex on them a little bit. Yeah, I love it. I love it. So before we get started, I want to know a little bit about that backstory you have. How did you even become involved in yachting, captain, the whole situation? How did that come about?
Okay, so first of all, I want to thank God for being here. Secondly, I want to thank you guys. I appreciate you guys having me on here, being able to share my story and spread the word about BU Boat Tours. And so the backstory is very interesting. So full-time, I'm a police officer.
That's a whole nother twist.
It is.
Yeah.
So I basically have been on the water all my life. I'm also an artist, and I was born an artist. I especially like to paint, and my water, growing up on the water, is very natural as well. In the police department, I was on the water for years and years and years. So basically, I loved it so much, I bought one boat with my sister. My sister's here today. Hi, sister.
Shout out to sis.
What's up, sis?
Yeah, sis.
I bought a second yacht and then a third yacht and decided, you know what, this painting and boating I put together and created that business model of painting and sailing, right? So the backstory, very interesting, because in boating, so anybody can own a boat, right? Anybody can get a boater safety certificate and own a boat. And just because you own a boat doesn't mean that you either one are good at it. It doesn't mean you have that much time on the water. And it definitely doesn't mean that you can charter or take passengers out. Mm-hmm. So in my case, I decided to go and put myself through captain school, right?
Oh, ambitious.
Yeah, so I put myself through captain school. Was not easy. I had a conversation with my sister again, and I went to this school. So typically the school was like 3 weeks, about a month long. Mm-hmm. But I was very eager. I was anxious to get it done. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take this accelerated course and go 1 week, right?
That's accelerated.
It's accelerated. So I was like, I'm going to go 1 week because I need to get it done. I'm about my business. I'm really liking this model. And so put myself in a hotel room so that I can study and concentrate, right? Mm-hmm. First day, I walked in the classroom. And I got to look like... Looked at the paper. All right, what's your name? Told him my name. And I said, yes, this is me. And he flipped the clipboard, and he was like, oh, okay, welcome. Have a seat. So when I walked in the room, nobody looked like me.
They weren't used to seeing
so
nobody look like you, right?
That was one of my bulk questions, and I know I'm not the only person on here wants to know that.
Yes.
Are you always having people taken aback by seeing you as a black sister captain?
Absolutely.
Not just a black person, a sister. So it's like a double minority in their mind. So I know it's not a big deal, a big thing. I know people don't just see this every day.
No.
But how rare is that? Like,
it is extremely rare. Yeah. It is extremely rare. I mean, in fact, going back to the classroom real quick. So I'm in the classroom. The teacher barely looks at me all week. And on the first day, I called my sister, and I said, I don't know if I could do this. My brain was getting rocked. I had to do math, physics. And she was like, you can do it. You could do it. Midweek, didn't do so well. So in the end, you have to pass 4 Coast Guard exams and score 90 or better, right? That's serious. So the last day, teacher looked at me. They grade him on the last day. So he's sitting there with his clipboard. He grades it. First test, second test. I'm standing there all anxious like, oh, my goodness. I'm nervous. I'm sweating. And, again, he barely looked at me all week. When he graded my test and told me I passed all of them, I screamed, and he looked at me like, okay. I'm like, yeah, we're not stupid.
Right.
That's right. Very much so not
Oh my
stupid.
gosh.
So let's give it up for that, though, first of all. Let's give it up for this black female captain. That's a big deal to me. I knew that when you came in, but I wanted them to know
Yes.
part of that journey and just know how exclusive
It
that
is. And I even encouraged my son to attend the same school. When I first told him, he was like, I'm not going to that school. And so he went to the same school, the same amount of time, stayed in the same hotel, and called me and passed it.
That's what I'm talking about.
So we went on to get our master's captain's license, which is the highest that you can get, and you will not see a mother and son black team in this region. We are very
So wait,
rare.
back up a little bit. So how? Because you said what did you guys went on to get?
So it's another level of captain.
Okay,
we
so
went
how
on.
many levels is it? That's what I'm curious.
So that's the highest, the master level, where you can take amount of passengers that requires your boat. You can take more than 6 passengers.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you're
And
just a basic captain, you have a maximum capacity.
six passengers.
Got you.
And you go on, which is a whole nother level, a whole nother story. And that one, my son and I, we did it together. He isn't able to be here. Masters, that's the highest you could get.
Okay.
We talking highest, y'all. When we do stuff, we go all the way to the top with it. You understand that? You notice how they don't let us get in every game. Like if we
Right.
play hockey, we kick tail in hockey. We
Right.
race a car, we race everybody in the car. We do
Yes.
whatever we do. So the black captain then came in. The
Yeah.
game in
They done
trouble.
let us in the
Uh-oh,
building.
the game in trouble.
They done
Hey,
let
Yes.
us in.
All right, I'm gonna keep it professional. So anyway,
Yes.
I'm really excited about that because it's a rarity.
Yeah.
Right, and it's like a wave runner, like you're charting waters in real life, like you're being the forerunner for a lot of people, like your son,
Yes.
that can look at a black captain, his mom, and say, I want to be a captain. I don't just want to be a captain. I want to be the highest
Yes.
level of
all the
captain.
way. Go all the way.
And so then what? Now he's looking at you different.
Yeah, he's looking at me different. So with that being said, so I couldn't do this without my team. And my team consists of a lot of my family. So as I mentioned, my son, he actually helps me with the business. My sister helps me with the business. My daughter, they're all here. My mother, we all are part of the business. And that's very, very important to me, as you spoke before about black business. So it's very important to me to leave a legacy, right? I think it's our time. They're very essential to my business, my children. They're learning. I'm encouraging them to go as far as they can get to continue the legacy. I mean, we weren't born, a lot of us black and brown people were not born, into a lot of wealth.
Right.
Even with my police job, I do mentoring, and I actually had a junior Shark Tank, because I want to, share my ideas along with some of the community and business owners. I actually did this, and it was featured on one of our local news channels as well, that, we need to be educated. We don't know everything about business, and we should support one another. Again, I think it's our time. Generational wealth, I think, is the way. By showing
it's
our
the only way right
and
now.
carrying
The
it
only
on.
way.
Yes.
This is why we need each other.
Yes.
This is why I was speaking on it early. We need to link up. And we need
Absolutely.
to create more use so that you can have that lane open for more of us.
Absolutely.
Can I ask you a question? So, cause
Yes.
you when you first started talking, you said you got one yacht, and you went and got another one. You got another.
Act like it was like
Hey,
a
and we got on the way real quick and got right about it. Tell us what is. I mean, I know you don't have to go into full detail, but what's that process like?
Looks like,
Yeah,
yes.
for us
That looks
grabbing
like
that,
average
because
Joe.
somebody
Okay.
you
You
just grabbing yachts out here.
I remember we was in Annapolis, and there was a couple that came up. Actually, it was several of them on a yacht. They had like a 60-footer. They had a nice one. And when they pulled up, the whites had pulled up prior to them. And I'm sorry, they pulled up first, and they made them go and take their yacht further down. And so then the whites pulled up, and they let them park in that same space. So they came up hollering and fussing when we was actually in what's that restaurant down there in Annapolis? We was in
Which one?
So anyway, it was by the water.
Okay.
And so long story short, these people were so offended. We sat next to them and we was waiting, and they was telling us about this yacht thing, how Annapolis is one of the oldest black charters and blah, 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 blah. And it was such a big deal, and it was intriguing, and it stuck with me. So when I see you talk about this journey, it brings me back to how rare it is.
It is very rare.
And so these 3 yachts, we got to get back to that. Now, how did you get these 3 yachts?
Get them.
How did this
These are
come about?
investments. They're
Okay,
investments.
So I mean, like, okay, so for a person who, like I'm saying, trying to get in that game,
Right.
and they say, I want to be as ambitious as her, and so you
Like the
started off.
simple of how you, so
Yeah,
you
how do
just,
you get
you
started?
purchase a boat just like you would purchase a car.
Okay.
But obviously you will want to know, there's a lot of stupid boaters out here. Because they'll buy a boat, jump in the boat, and then just mess the entire boat
And they
up.
don't take care of it, right?
They don't take care of it.
Maintenance on this is crazy, right?
The maintenance is very serious. So you need to know a little bit about the boat, or at least, I've helped others. And in fact, my son, he does the transport of boats too, because some people will buy the boat, but they need it delivered.
Right.
So he does that, and he's working with that.
Oh, your son ain't playing out here. Shout out to him, man.
Captain Tiger.
Captain Tiger. Shout out to you, Tiger. I love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
young generation doing his thing.
Yeah.
And so 1 turned into 3. And so now what's next?
So we plan on doing this all year long, right? So I started with the paint. I'm gonna go back to the painting a little bit because I did the mobile painting. So you know how the paint events, people paint on canvas. So I started with that, and so that's how it became the paint and sail. So right now, because up here in the DMV area, basically, because we're approaching winter or fall and winter, we can't do it all year long. So my plan is to go south and do it in Florida. So it can be done all year because, again, we are the only one in the region that has this model of painting and sailing. It's very unique. The clients will come down to the pier, paint on the pier, which no one else does. After they paint on the pier with their friends, waterfront, they board the yacht. Once they board the yacht, at that point, we have Bluetooth. You can bring your small plates of food, and it's a fabulous time, and you're very safe.
So you're the paint instructor and the captain at the same time.
Yes.
So you put your love of art and kind of infuse the whole situation.
Yes.
That's love.
That's brilliant.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
Shout out to her.
Yeah. Innovative. Love it.
Yeah, so that's
and so let me see. What is this business important? Why is this business so important to you? Like, I know that it's passionate to you. I see your passion. I know that you love the water. But what is the big deal to you? What is that why factor?
Okay. So one thing I think is that everybody should do what they want to do or what they dream of doing or what they enjoy doing and just expand on that. And like I said, I was born an artist. I especially like to paint. I love the water. In fact, I'm a scuba diver as well. I did that for the police department. I heard y'all earlier speaking about the case with the young man that went in the water, but there's some science a little bit behind that. But when I did scuba diving, I basically did evidence and recovery. So anything water, I'm all about. And when I got into the boating, I figured let's just put it all together. So it's very passionate. It's very unique. I'm always wanting to help because we even partner with other businesses, as far as chefs and things, especially black businesses with the boat and so forth. And another very important reason, again, is that generational wealth of having my family very essential to the business so that they can learn, they can grow. Training is serious. Certifications are serious. We're doing it the right way. We don't need to get stopped and not have all the certifications. We got it squared away. Now, and I will say there are challenges out there when it comes to applying for certain things or going to certain places. They take double looks and they have to do the extra verification.
Right. But it's the boating business, because people don't realize in the DMV area, we have a lot of water out here.
Yes, we do.
And people don't.
More than people realize.
People don't like to put that on the forefront like that because we just don't talk about it. Even at home, we don't say, "Hey, it's a lot of water." I'm a water baby too. I love getting on the water. So do you feel like this is a business that people should look into getting into, or you think it's going to start booming, or what?
I do.
Okay.
I've had a lot of great clients. I met a lot of great people, great friends. They call me for advice. Some of these people have never been on a boat before, and it's expanding their visions, and now they're very, very interested in it. I think any of us can do that. It just takes a little bit of time, experience, do your research, and especially young little girls. I mentor young women too, and to do the same thing. Yeah, to do the same thing. And I'm like, if I can do it, and I'm a master captain, I don't see a lot of me out there.
Right.
Very rare, not one actually yet. I'm not saying they're not out there.
That's what I meant. How rare? That's rare.
Very, very rare. We get looks when we driving that boat. My sister can tell you stories too about that. And the most difficult thing in boating, I will say this, is docking a boat. You can get on the water and you can turn the steering wheel. But to dock a boat doesn't have brakes.
Right.
And when you got a park or parallel park between two yachts that might be bigger than $1 million, you better not touch that.
Right.
So if you can get in and out of that, then you pretty good.
So how do you practice that? We're going to have to get you back there because we're running out of time, right?
Yeah.
I ran my mouth a little more than I wanted to earlier because I got a little passionate. But I definitely want them to know how they can find you, how can they book charters, the whole nine.
Thank you. Yeah, so you can book on my website. So it's basically beyoucreate.com. Okay, BEYOU create.com. Click the book now. We are accepting bookings for 2022. They're already filling up. And you can also do Instagram. So Instagram is the same. So it's basically Captain QT. I'm sorry, BU Captain QT is the Instagram.
Yeah.
Follow us. You can see all of the parties, all of the pictures. Booking is very easy though. Just click the Book Now tab on the website.
Perfect. Can you put it back on the screen for me one more time? We really, 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 really appreciate what you have going on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, the business, I can speak for it, is booming. We just had a yacht party ourselves, and we're getting ready to have another one in June. So we know for sure it's booming. A lot of my friends are doing the smaller parties with the 6 parties. You and a couple, a few of your couple friends can get out there. Y'all put y'all money on it and get out there and have a good time. It's a beautiful thing. I love the water as well, so I really appreciate that. Let's give it up one more time for Captain Cutie in the building. The highest captain, you hear me? Not just a captain, she got all the stripes. And so we got our homegirl, Miss Yandy, coming up next to bless us with her vocals. And also we're going to speak to her before she get on set. So we'll be right back. Spotlight over the